Conceive, believe, achieve.
This is former UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael Bisping.
Paddy the Baddy here. You're listening to Combat Sports UK.
And you're watching Combat Sports UK.
Hi, it's Adam Phillips here, working with Combat Sports UK, and I have Miss Rosa Walsh with me. Rosa, hello, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you very much. Is it an 11-hour difference from where I am to where you are? 8 hours?
8 hours, I think, yeah.
Yeah, originally we said we're going to meet up, and then Rosa made the distinction that 10 o'clock in the morning here was like ridiculous early where she is. So we've done it for now. It's 9 o'clock in the evening now. So we wanted to grab Rosa into the studio to talk to us all about fighting, grappling. And if you're not sure who Rosa actually is, then you might want to take a look at this. So that is Rosa Walsh. If you haven't had a chance to watch her, you need to. I had the privilege to go up to Grapplefest 12, which was a few months ago now in Liverpool, after Chris Thompson, the owner of Grapplefest, one of the owners, invited us, Combat Sports up there, and we had a great time. And Rosa was undoubtedly one of, if not the fight of the night, because there was the elbow situation. Right, so if you haven't seen this at home, you need to watch this on YouTube. Look up Rosa Walsh versus Suleiman, because it was incredible. Before that part, how was you feeling on the build up to the match?
That was actually a really nice show to be on, because for the last year and a bit, I've traveled a lot of the place to a lot of competitions and shows on my own. I've cornered myself, or I've had to grab somebody in the warm-up area. Will you corner me? And this is one of the first times where I was going with the team, which was fantastic. I knew that Heath was going to corner me, and it was there was so much support there. And yes, I've been supported in other matches and stuff, but for there now, it was I don't know, it was just such a lovely thing. And they're all great, all the PSF guys and stuff. So it was just really, really nice to know that I definitely had somebody in my corner. I didn't have to be stressed coming up to the day, who can I get, who can I ask and stuff. And then my family flew over and stuff for it from Ireland. So that was lovely. It was actually a really nice day.
It's a fantastic venue. And if you get the chance to be up at the top and looking down, it's a great view. And when you go into these sort of things, do you have a particular way about you? I know obviously you have, whenever you do competitions or whatever, there are sort of several different types of people. There's these guys, You know, the guys that do this a lot. They're just
Yeah.
right. And then there's the other guys who are just like, right, right. And then you get, do you know what I mean? So how are you? Are you stressed before a fight or a match? Do you do some pacing? Do you just talk to everyone? How do you react to a matchup?
See, I'm a bit of both. Like for me now, when I do well is when I'm, let's say, enjoying the day. Like if I have done a really like stressful weight cut or whatever, and I'm like stressed about making weight, then afterwards I make weight. I'm stressed about like refueling properly, and then I'll do the pacing then, and I'll be like get in the zone. But like when I'm like having fun with my friends, when I'm like chatting to everybody. One of my very good friends, Hannah Garrett, she actually does the running for Grapplefest. So like I'm always messing with her because like I've been on the last 3 Grapplefests, and like Hannah's been a brilliant like person to be around because she's just so bubbly and full of life. So I think for me, it's a mixture of like just enjoying the build up to it. Like because if I'm like, oh god, I'm on next, I'm on like in 3 fights, I'm like I'm not gonna do very well. What I'm doing what I love. I'm in one like on the best show that I've ever been on, and it is one of my favorite shows, and that's when I do the best. So I think I'm like, yes, I have my music in, and like I got weird music taste, so it's like a mixture of everything. But as well as that, I'm also like chatting, messing, and stuff with everybody back on stage.
That's what it's about, really, though, isn't it? I mean, I mean, from speaking from my own personal experience, I know that whenever I did a competition when this is about, I don't know, 10 years ago. And of course, when you're a white belt, you want to do well and you want to do the weight cut because you want to get the most out of it and you want to be the heaviest in your category and all that kind of stuff. And you starve yourself and then you weigh in and you don't refuel properly, you just don't drink because you're so thirsty, neck, which actually isn't how you're supposed to do it. And then you put yourself under so much pressure. And the moment that I stopped doing that and just went, you know what? If I lose, I don't care. This is what's going to happen. We take chatting beforehand about what we do after competition. At the end of the day, there's fish and chips and there's a beer. It doesn't matter. Everything else is a bonus. And and as soon as you start relaxing about the whole thing, just going, then I think you do start performing way better. Did you know much about Suleme before you went into this? Or the last one, sorry.
I kind of knew her just because like the pool of competitors in Ireland and the UK is so small. Like everybody kind of knows each other's names and stuff. Like I never fought her before. All I knew is that she was really tall. That's all I knew. So then like I met her beforehand at the weigh-in and everything. It was just like even a chat to her for a bit. But yes, that was all I knew. All I knew is that she was a proper belt and she was quite tall.
I mean, it really was a very technical fight. In terms of it wasn't about brute power. It was literally about position. It was about keeping everything tight. You at one point was literally belly down, and I remember looking down from the balcony. Like, oh god, her elbow's gone inside out. Whoa. And it was literally like this, but
Inverted.
so we were like, she's done, and then somehow you went from side and then you went belly down, and we're like, oh god, she's gone belly down. Oh Jesus, it's gonna get. Oh, it's gonna break her arm, and then somehow she got out of it. And what was going through your mind? I know what I was going through my mind. I was thinking, we were literally me and my 2 mates that were sat there like, what? How has she done that? And then what was going through your mind after that? Because surely, I mean, when you give it everything that you've got and you see the elbow go the wrong way,
yeah.
What was going through your mind?
It's kind of funny because like obviously I'm not very like present in matches. It's really weird. Like I really kind of like just rely on like my instincts and stuff. But like that match now, especially that section of the match, I was so aware, and like I could hear the heat in my corner. I could hear like people. I could hear her corner because I knew her. It's her husband Bruno. And then I remember being like, okay, this isn't working. What the fuck do I do now? I was like, I have to give it 100%. And like, I'm somebody now, even like as you progress through the belts and stuff, you kind of work on like, let's say, like you don't kind of be like a spazzy white belt. You kind of like, let's say, maintain some form of like consistency with the intensity. But like there now, I was like, I have to go for this. I have to give it everything, and I did. And like, regardless of what happened, like, yes, the match was insane, and I felt the arm snap. Like I felt it crack once or twice. Like Sula is so tough, and like she's just incredible. I was like, I just had to, I gave it my all. So like, regardless of whatever the result would have been, or like what it could have been, I was really glad that I was able to just give it everything for those 20 seconds. And that's something I don't really do enough, which is obviously a detriment to mine. But like, I was just thinking in my head, you have to go for it. This is it. And like, the only match I've seen that where it's like, yeah, a fully extended arm, it's inverting, is the Fionn and Bia Mosquito match. Yeah. And when it was like, this is like, and I spoke to Fionn about this, and she was like, it was in a perfect position, but the arm was extended, she could feel it cracking, and it was not tapping. So it's like, she said the same thing, it was like just giving it 100%. So that's something now that was just really, I was really proud of myself for.
Watching that, being there, you absolutely feel it. Like, because you went down, she got out of it. All of us did this thing for what felt like about an hour, like, and then you jumped on the bat and you went for it, and you kept on going and going and going. And for us, it was certainly one of the best matches I'd ever watched live, 100%. And I think it's brilliant for female grappling in particular at the moment. There seems to be an energy behind it. I was talking to Marina Mavru not too long ago, who does obviously Women Who Fight. And there's, I fight with or train with my partner, Jessie McGarry, who's, again, ridiculous, crazy good. And I think, do you think that there's a sort of movement at the moment where we're starting to find women in sports in particular, particularly with the football? Obviously, that's helped huge for England football. Do you think there's the same thing with grappling? Do you think there's sort of a bit of a surge of women coming through now?
I think so. Like, obviously, the trailblazers out of the UK has been Fionn, and like what she's doing and everything. But like, even now below that, like Nadine, Marina, Sula, Ashley Bendel, Nina. I'm trying to go off who's on the Enyo card. Like, there's a whole load of like, kind of like, let's say, new black belts and like colored belts who are doing just what the exact same that Fionn did, like, and are on that track. So like, I think it took a while, especially when like the competitive scene was out for so long with COVID or whatever. But I definitely think that there's like, even my match with Nadine was probably my favorite match. Like, it was like, I lost the match and it was probably even better than the Sula match. Like, I think that with girls, it's that like people are slowly realizing that like they're kind of a bit more interesting to watch. Yeah. And as well as that, it's like there's an aspect of their fighting where we're fighting for so much more than just like a win or a loss. You know, like I started on the prelim card on my first Grapplefest, and I worked my way up to the main card. A lot of the guys, and like I like nothing about Grapplefest or anything that happens with every single card in the world, is that like girls have to work their way like into, let's say, into stardom or whatever, whereas a lot of guys don't really need to do that. So I think with girls, like, we all have appreciation for the fact that like we all know what it takes. We all know it's not just turning up to the gym every night. It's like being battered by guys who are bigger than you. All there's so many other facets to like competitive female jiu-jitsu that I think is what is making it so popular at the moment.
Yeah, 100%. How do you find training on a daily basis in a sport that is predominantly male orientated? I know that I work with Jess, and she's bloody brilliant. And as far as blokes concerned, you're just one of the boys. You know what I mean? Or just a friend. That doesn't make any difference to us, you know. But how do you feel when it's the other way around? Was it tricky to begin with, and now it's okay, or how do you react to it?
Like, when I started, I was only like 17, so like it was a case of I was going with all guys, and I was like, I don't care about who, like, what gender is on the mat. Like, I just want to do the sport. So like, I think when you're that young, that stuff like that just it's not really in your, I suppose, your world. But now it's a case of like, there is an element of, I do need to protect myself. I'm so bad for this, and half the time I just don't give a shit. It's like, I just want to train hard. But like, as well as that, this is also really bad. Sometimes the best training sessions that I have, or the best training partners, people to treat me like an athlete, not a female. That's probably sounds really weird.
No, I agree. But why look at it as women and men, just think like, are you a professional athlete? Yes. Let's train like you are because you are.
Yeah. But like as well as that, I do get where a lot of these males are coming from is like I don't really know, they don't have experience rolling with females. They don't know whether or not to like maybe how to treat them, or like should they go hard? Should they like take it easy or whatever? But like from my experience, the worst roles I have are guys who just don't do anything. Just like leave you, take them down, or just like stand there and they're like 20 kilos heavier than you and you have to try and deal with it. It's like, come on, like if you're 90 kilos, move around with me. Don't just like sit on me. If you're like around my weight, then we could actually have a proper role. But it's the ones now who either don't give a shit, just like lie there, like, yeah, you can pass my guard, whatever. Or it's the ones now who just have a bit of an ego and have something to prove. And I've experienced both. And both are the worst things and will push more girls away from jiu-jitsu. Is that like guys with egos who are like, I'm not letting a brown belt girl beat me up. Or guys who are just like, a brown belt girl can't beat me up, so I'm going to do nothing. So there's definitely those lines. But for me now, I have found lovely training partners throughout my jiu-jitsu career. But I think that you do have to be quite careful. You do have to be quite specific. I will train with everybody, and I have no issue saying that. But regards to, let's say, prepping for a competition, it's like I do have preference. I do like prefer more people than others.
Well, you've got to look after yourself, and you've got to train smart. And you're right. We obviously, I don't think it's just not our. It is anywhere, any club. It's fighting at the end of the day, and it's just not hitting. That's all. There's going to be those people, those blokes who are out to try and prove something. But the thing is, they've got to be careful, these particular people, because if any of the other guys that train with you notice it or pick up on it, then we've got to rotate in a minute, everyone. So just be careful, because if you end up being a knobhead, then the chances are your old mate Gary's going to sort them out in a minute. Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't actually prove anything. I think that's kind of my biggest takeaway from jiu-jitsu, is that you come to realise that small people can win, big people can win, women can win, men can win, anyone can win. So it doesn't really matter. And at the end of the day, when it's training, it's just training. It's not there. I'm not trying to break your arm. I'm sure if you actually wanted to hurt someone, you could if you wanted.
Yeah.
But especially if they're a newbie. But when they sit on top of you and do nothing, it's the most. I mean, I normally fight about 68, 75, between that kind of category. So when you got someone's 120 kilos lead on you, you're like, bro, I ain't benching you. So we're just stuck here, like just doing this a lot. Like, what do you mean to do? You know what I mean? So you got to train smart, and you got to look after number one, 100%. So next Grapplefest, you're invited again. Obviously, clearly, Chris would be mental not to invite you back on again for Grapplefest 13, and you're against Sarah Greenwood. Same as normal, business as usual. Or are you treating it a little bit different as you're getting further down this sort of rabbit hole?
A bit of both. Like I do trust in my own abilities in some capacities, but like I know Sarah. Like we've kind of come up the ranks together. We've actually never fought. Like I've known her for years and stuff. So that'll be really fun because I think she's great. I think for me, my prep has kind of been obviously I kind of am jumping around on planes a lot. So for me, it's more about just getting a solid week's training. Like, I know that Sarah is a guard puller. I've been working a lot on my wrestling for some reason. I don't really know when she's a guard puller, but look, we'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
But I think that once I'm confident that I've done enough, regardless of whatever style that Sarah plays, that's how I'll win.
Just take it. Just get in there and just do your thing. And most importantly, it just doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, there's fish and chips, and you can have a beer. It doesn't matter, does it?
And Liverpool is insane afterwards.
That's amazing. So, whereabouts in the world are you at the moment? Are you training in America, or are you just out for holiday? Or
I'm here in California. I've been training here for like about 5-6 weeks. So I'm flying to Vegas tomorrow for ADCC, which I can't wait for. And then I'm going back home then for Grapplefest for a bit.
Incredible. Well, look, if you haven't seen her, as I say, you really need to get Grapplefest tickets. You can also stream it from Fight TV. Oh, is it Fight TV? It's not Fight TV this time, is it? Or is it Fight TV this time?
I think,
Fight TV,
it's Fight TV.
And then you need to watch it because Rosa is incredible. And I think you should just keep doing what you're doing, mate, because it's great to watch. And it's great to see. I was like, Jesus Christ, did you see that? And we were just chatting to a mate of mine a minute ago, Alexi, about the fight itself. And so I'm really, really stoked. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in this one because it's going to be exciting. Any other fights on the card that you're looking forward to seeing?
That's terrible. I think the Sula and Nadine match will be really good because I fought them both.
100%. Yeah.
And like obviously I've like out of the last 3 performances on Grapplefest, 2 of mine were fight of the night, and one was against Sula, one was against Nadine. So like I think that'll be a really, really good match. Other than that, there's a couple of Irish people on the card, which is cool. And then
Evan Reid has made his way to the main card down this way. He was obviously in the prelims last time. Big up, Evan. You will be watching this. You better be. I'll give you a slap. But yeah, Evan did amazing. Obviously, finished with a guard guillotine from the guard last time. So he did amazing.
And then it'd be really cool to see Kendall and Magdalena, really cool matchup. The PSF guys, they're always insane. And like, I love the wrestling aspect. So like, I'm just a wrestler at heart. So I think any fight that stays on the feet is a fight that's perfect.
Well, like Mike Grundy is going to be on the next card, of course.
Yes.
Now he's renowned for his wrestling, so that's going to be an interesting one. And of course, Owen Livesy's back on the next one as well. Against
Jack Grant. That's going to be such a good match.
So Jack Grant is like the nicest guy. He's always smiling. And Owen is just like, he's got this, I don't even know what it, he's got this thing about him. I don't know what it is, but you just go, he's a star. He's already instantly a star. But again, he was the last one. People were banging the boards and they were going nuts. And he was just walking, just throwing. I forget.
Pixley.
But here he's Pixley, and he was throwing him at one point, throwing him into the side. He was like, down his back. And
I saw there was a massive bruise, but it was such a good match.
Just insane. So I'm really looking forward to watching that one again. So, and even Mike Grundy's son is on it as well in the prelims. Cool. So there's going to be loads of another stack card. So well done, Chris, in the game.
Yeah.
So Rosa, thank you so much for your time. Have a safe flight to Vegas and enjoy that. I'm sure it'll be well fun. And if I can get up to the next Grapplefest on October 1st, I will love to say hello and grab a picture with you. And maybe on the next one after that, go for a couple of beers, maybe a fish and chips as well. That'd be great. So for now, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. Good luck with your training. And obviously have fun on the next fight against Sarah. So for now, it's for Combat Sports UK. Remember to like, subscribe to these videos as per the norm, and remember to check out our website. All the best, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Conceive, believe, achieve.
This is former UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael Bisping.
Paddy the Baddy here. You're listening to Combat Sports UK.
And you're watching Combat Sports UK.